All right, we should be good now. We should be good now. All right, we killed that last stream. That's dead. All right, we're gonna do it different. We're gonna do it different this time. Can you see and hear me? You can see and hear me good. Great, great, great. What up? Shout out to the people in the chat. We're gonna do this a little bit different. What I'm gonna do is instead, I'm just gonna play the audio on my phone into the microphone. And then you guys will be able to just follow along that way. We're gonna break down Lil Wayne's comments surrounding Minneapolis.
Think about what's going on right now with this cop on Big George stepping on his neck and all that.
I think when we see these situations, I think we also have to understand.
Oh, first of all, I just want to say, I just want to say that, all right, my bad on the echo. Cool. Yeah, first thing I want to say is, a lot of people offer their unsolicited opinion. This was not an unsolicited opinion. It was solicited. Fat Joe asked him. He asked Lil Wayne his thoughts on this. It wasn't like Lil Wayne volunteered his thoughts to this matter. He was asked. So when asked, he's giving his opinion. You can't get mad at people giving their opinion when asked because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But let's see what he says.
And that we have to get very specific. We have to get so specific. And what I mean by that, we have to stop viewing it with such a broad view, meaning we have to stop placing the blame on the whole force and the whole everybody of such a certain race, everybody with a badge, and we have to get into who that person is. And
so he's talking about being specific, and I think that's the key here. You can't take what happened in one isolated incident and have it define the whole. Painting these broad strokes. When you do that, you in fact make sure that the people who murdered others actually get away. When we look at some of the cops of the past that have murdered some of the most popular names, that people spout when we talk about police brutality, those cops still have jobs. Those cops still have jobs. They're still walking around. They're still alive. They're still happy. Why? Because we never held the individual accountable. We painted broad strokes and tried to make it everybody's problem. When really, people wouldn't do certain things if they were held accountable for their actions. But when one cop sees one cop kill a brother and he's never incarcerated and he still gets to keep his job, he's more likely to do it again. Or feel as though. It's definitely, I think the chat is right. The timing of this is very emotional time. So Lil Wayne's comments is, it looks like Black Twitter is just basically like, they're basically, I don't even need headphones. I'm talking to myself. They're upset. They're upset at these comments. I posted, I said, I agree with them. And somebody called me a coon. I was like, all right. So let's play it.
When we see these situations, I think we also have to understand that we have to get very specific. We have to get so specific. And what I mean by that, we have to stop viewing it with such a broad view, meaning we have to stop placing the blame on the whole force and the whole everybody of such a certain race, everybody with a badge, and we have to get into who that.
Yeah, he said you can't blame the whole race. I think that's what people are looking for, though. The approved talking point that gets you brownie points. I talk a lot about how conservatives grifts. Well, on the left hand side of things, the grift is just to talk shit about white people. I think that's kind of like a waste of a life, to be so concerned with somebody else other than yourself and what's happening in your family and in your community, especially when you're the underdog and you're not doing so well. Um, I think it requires a lack of focus to do such, to be so. But anyway, yeah, that's the grift. That's the grift. You say, hey, white people bad, and all of a sudden you're some hero. You don't have to build anything. You don't have to build anything, no structures. You don't have to create jobs or anything like that. But if you say white people are bad, you're, like the next great thought leader in black culture. The bar is too low. The bar is way too low. And we're going to get into Wayne's comments next.
Person is, and if we want to place the blame on anybody, it should be ourselves for not doing more than what we think we're doing.
Now that part right there hurt. That hurt people right there, what he said. He said the blame needs to be placed on ourselves because we're not doing as much as we should be doing. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. I know it is, people. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. But that's a mantra that you carry out throughout life, period. That's not only a national ideology, but it's also an individual one. Let's play it back. I want y'all to hear that one more time because this is very important, especially if you're in your 20s. You need to think like this. This is how you need to think to be successful.
I think we also have to understand that we have to get very specific. We have to get so specific, and what I mean by that, we have to stop viewing it with such a broad view. Meaning, we have to stop placing the blame on the whole force and the whole everybody of such a certain race, everybody with a badge. And we have to get into who that person is, and if we want to place the blame on anybody, it should be ourselves for not doing more than what we think we're doing.
I took that approach. I said everything around me was created by me. So if things are bad, it's my fault. If things are good, it's my fault. I think when you have that attitude, it fosters responsibility and accountability. It forces you to do the checks and balances on your actions. Talk is cheap, which leads us into his next point.
Yeah, we're leaving it at the reason why people always ask me, like, why you don't say this, why you don't do that, is because what else am I going to do after that? Some people put a tweet out and they think they did something. Some people wear a shirt, they think they did something. What you going to do after that? Did you actually help the person? Did you actually help the family? Did you actually go out there and do something? So if I ain't about to do all that, then I ain't about to do nothing.
Did y'all hear that, people? I'm gonna read some super chats and we're gonna break all of that down because he said bars right there. Zen Master Me, 99 cents. Insight of the Ages, $5. He said this whole thing is a nasty game. Can we hold on to free America? If we could all cooperate, damn, are we this easy to manipulate? Yes, we are this easy to manipulate. Yes, we are. So I'm gonna just run that back because that was just exquisite.
Put a tweet out and they think they did something. That some people wear a shirt.
They put a tweet out and think they did something. They put a tweet out and think they did something. Lil Wayne said they put a tweet out and think they did something. It's funny because the people actually organizing in the community aren't the rock stars on the internet. It's the people that are tweeting and not building that are rock stars on the internet. These blue checks that build nothing, provide no jobs, that gatekeep. These are the rock stars in the black community. You put on a t-shirt and all of a sudden you're a hero. You got one little quote and it's like, a white person says something, like white people are bad and they're invited to the cookout. The talk. Ancient Chinese proverb goes, it's in my book, The Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity. Get it in the link below. Get it in the box below. Talk don't cook rice. Talk don't cook rice. Your actions are what going to make things happen. You see somebody doing a lot of talking on the internet, you need to ask them, what are you doing? Can we see what you're doing? When we did the checks and balances on Sean King's organization, they raised over 1.5 million, promised a mobile app, a new media outlet. A year later, what do we got? Nada. 1.5 million. Huh? You know how much it costs to build a mobile app? Anywhere from 5 to 10 grand, depending on what you're trying to do. Maybe lower if you're doing something, basic. If you want to build an app, let me know. I'm in tech. I can get one built for you. Just let me know. Got engineers on deck. But bro, let's hold on.
They think they did something. I mean, what you gonna do after that? Did you actually help them?
Now, he said, what are you gonna do after that? You done talked, you done marched, you done protested, you done wrote on your blogs, you vlogged, you grifted. What are you gonna do after that? What are you gonna do after that? I see a lot of people supplanting themselves and going to Minneapolis to get their grift on. I'm not going. I have a class every Saturday, Mogul Summit, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., where I talk to professional, motivated founders, moguls, business owners every weekend. That's how we build. That's how we build. We're not stopping that. We're not stopping building our own infrastructure to be distracted every time the powers that be want us to be. No. I know how to create freedom. And it ain't what you see on the internet and it ain't what you see on TV. It's what you do when the cameras is off, when the phone is away. That's the revolution. Huh? When you spend time with them kids, that's the revolution.
Person, did you actually help the family? Did you actually go out there and do something? So if I ain't about to do all that, then I ain't about to do nothing. I pray for you.
Boom. So he said, did you go out there? Hold on. He said, spot on, a lot of blue check marks posting photos of the riots with black fist emojis while they're posted up in the comfort of their homes. Yeah, these people are going to come down to Minneapolis. They flew out last night. They're going to sit in their hotel rooms, right? Charge up their phones. They're going to go hit the streets. They're going to record a whole bunch of content. They're going to take that content, monetize it from some sort of platform. They're going to raise their profile. As a result, it's going to increase their net worth. It's going to increase their profile. It's going to increase uh, uh, their traction in the market. They're going to go out there. They're going to grift, right? Post their little photos on the side. They're going to be on the side watching. What about the family? Right? What about his family? What about the family of this victim? What about the next victim? You see, I'm more about preventative medicine as opposed to, medicine after you get sick. How about we never get sick? How about we stop ourselves from getting sick? How about we stop the sickness? Therefore, we don't have to treat patients. How about we stop the cycle by owning our communities? So next time you get your ass beat by a cop, he'll be the same color as you. And then you won't be able to say, hey, this is racial oppression. You'll be able to say this is state oppression, communist oppression. But at least you'd lose that at least you'd have some sense of responsibility. The black community would say, hey, whatever deaths happen in our community, we're policed by our people. So if a cop kills one of our own, we did it to ourselves. So at least you have accountability. You couldn't say the white man killed you. You couldn't say it. I want to play this clip back one more time.
And they think they did something. That some people wear a shirt, they think they did something. I mean, what you gonna do after that? Did you actually help the person? Did you actually help the family? Did you actually go out there and do something? So if I ain't about to do all that, then I ain't about to do nothing. I pray for you.
He said, if I ain't about to do that,
what do you think about what
I'm not about to do nothing. I'm going to pray for you. And honestly, that's the most honest thing somebody could say. I'm going to pray for you. Because that's what I do. I pray for every time some incident like this, I send my prayers up. It's the most I could do. It's the most I could do. I think people expect too much of celebrities. They think celebrities are supposed to be superheroes and save them and rescue them. Celebrities got family too. Let's look at some of these rappers like Lil Wayne. If you come from the hood and you was poor and now you rich, you can't rescue the black community. You still got family members that you taking care of. How many black celebrities have we seen get rich and go broke from taking care of just their family, giving their family jobs, giving their family money, putting their family on their bills? Right? So how they gonna rescue you and they can't rescue themselves? Now I can understand maybe if you were a billionaire, I think billionaires can make a difference. I think everybody can make a difference because it's not really about so much the money. But let's talk about the money. So the grifters are gonna go out there and raise their profile. What are they gonna do for the community? Shout out to y'all, Hotep. Accountability isn't a attack on the struggle or culture. It's definitely not personal. No, it's definitely not personal. Yeah, MC Hammer's a great example. So the grifters are going to go out there, going to land in Minnesota. CNN, we saw some dude in CNN, CNN goes out there to grift on the story, and black dude gets arrested. Good. Fuck CNN. Arrest his ass. But everybody's out there grifting. If I went to Minneapolis, do you know where I'd be? Nowhere near the protests or the looting or the rioting. You know where I'd be? I'd be talking to the kids somewhere ducked off in the cut, running a class. I'd be cutting checks to organizations I think will benefit. I'd make investments into small business. That's what I would do. If I went out to Minneapolis, I would say, show me all of the black businesses in this area, right? This is what I would do. Show me all of the black businesses in the area, and we're going to start up a GoFundMe. And while I'm standing out here grifting, we're going to raise money for the black businesses. So black businesses walk away with 100,000 instead of some grifter who got arrested running a GoFundMe for his bail. I wouldn't send the money to a nonprofit organization, except for like Shakem. I think Shakem does good work. If it's a black run organization and it's one of education, like I know Shakem has a computer lab. I think that computer lab, Shakem down in South Carolina has a computer lab and some other facilities. I'd invest in facilities, more equipment, resources. I wouldn't be trying to pose or be on camera giving speeches like a Martin Luther King Jr. in the streets for clout. Al Sharpton or Al Sharpton. Huh? Police officer was arrested minutes ago. Al Sharpton. He got on a plane to go out there and grift, thinking he Martin Luther King Jr. All he gonna do is go out there, get on his soapbox, and talk. And grift. And he's gonna get paid good money from sponsors because he can do this. Lil Wayne is right. I'm not about to tweet about what's a tweet gonna do. Tweet don't bring back lives. Tweet don't build nothing. Unless you get my book, Dominate Twitter, in the description box below. But I think it's a shame that people are mad at Lil Wayne for saying it's our fault. Until you are ready to blame yourself for your circumstances, you'll never make any progress. You'll never see success. You have to look around you. If you look around you, open your eyes right now, look wherever you are right now. Look at your surroundings, look at your environment. Look at it. Look at the shit you like and look at the shit you don't like right now. Look around. You did that. Even if you live with somebody else, you did that. You created that life for yourself. It's not them, it's you. And until you can blame yourself for where you are in life, you'll never see success. It's contradictory to say black power and at the same time white supremacy. It's a contradictory statement. You can't say black power and somebody help us. Hands up, don't shoot. You can't say that. That's not power. Hands up, don't shoot is not power. That's a victim. Hands up, don't shoot is surrender. You are surrendering to your enemy when you say hands up, don't shoot. That's not power. You can't say black people are better than white people and then complain about oppression. If you were better, you wouldn't be oppressed. You wouldn't be oppressed. Now, you may have more potential than a Caucasian. The African may have more potential than the Caucasian. But you got to show it. You got to demonstrate that. If you think this blackness is so beautiful and so great, you got to demonstrate it. And it's sad that we have to watch the culture divulge into ass shaking. Shout out to y'all, Hotep. Only you can better your position. Absolutely. The culture has divulged into ass shaking. How is it that we have $1 million can get thrown in a strip club in a night, but we complain about black business? All right, fine. So $1 million goes in the club and the strippers take it. Where do the strippers send that money? Do the strippers invest in black business? Do they have an investment fund? Do the sex workers on OnlyFans have a investment fund where they invest in business other than pornography? Something that can actually help somebody? Where does the money go once it lands in the stripper's hands? I know. LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy. That's where it goes. It goes to Italians. It goes to Europeans. Then you complain when a European puts his foot on your neck and you dead. You gave him your money. You paid him to break your neck. You paid him to break your neck. If y'all hated white people so much, y'all wouldn't try to look like them or give them your money. Y'all do your hardest to look like them. You try your hardest to look like them. They taught you contouring of the makeup. They made you take your nose and make it more European. They had you highlight your face to make you look lighter. Then you put the blonde wig on to look like the white woman. So when I look at you, I go, oh, this is a white woman. I don't see a black woman. I always say in my head, you might be black. I might recognize you as a black woman. But in my head, I go, oh, look at this white woman. It's a joke to me. You're a joke. Because you're the same person that's going to say white people are bad and this, that, and the third. And then you hide behind, oh, but black women own beauty. Again, you contoured your nose to look like the white woman. Y'all pay, y'all pay white people to kick your ass. We pay for it. So until you guys change your habits and where you spend your money and where you invest your dollars, you know what's one of the funniest things is? I asked my dad, I said, Dad, why they wear that white wig? You see Africans, or you see, yeah, in Africa you'll see it. You'll see that from back in the English times, they put that white wig on their hair, that gray hair wig on their head. And I seen an African man put the white man's wig on his head because he was a judge in the court. And I said, there's nothing more colonized than that. Why do you put that wig? You look stupid. You look stupid putting that wig on your head. You look ridiculous. You look absolutely ridiculous with that judge's wig on your head. Somebody said, yo, Boston, you used to love them white women, though, right? I never stopped loving white women. I love all people. You got to check my hashtag, the mall, middle-aged white women. I think that if the world is going to become better, we're going to have to depend on middle-aged white women. I've said it. The Karen calls the shots. I'm not one of the people who say white people are evil or bad. I'm one of the woke people that understand how this world works and understand that these races are biological, but they don't have to be psychological. Races are biological, but they don't have to be psychological. Say it one more time. Races are biological. They don't have to be psychological. And that's the problem. We allow all this stuff to just mess with our heads. And then you don't see the bigger picture. You don't see what's actually going on. You don't see why you're always protesting. You know? And some people are getting on the looters. And I'm like, why are you mad at the looters? I'm not mad at the looters. I know nothing about Minneapolis. I know nothing about what's going on there. I'm not there. I don't see much. We got Antifa guys running up, smacking windows, bashing windows, setting places on fire, undercover cops posing as protesters. All types of agent type stuff is going on. And people are passing judgment on these looters. I think Philando Castile was killed out there, or another brother. I forget the names. But I'm not going to sit up here and tell people how to react. When France had enough, did y'all call France looters? The Yellow Jacket Revolution. Did y'all call them looters when they were revolting in France? When the Hong Kong protesters was tearing shit up and they was fighting with police, did you condemn the looters? You condemn the looters when they were black. When the state comes in and applies an oppressive regime that forces poverty through democratic and socialist policies, forces the people into poverty, builds a superstore. And when people go to get their reparations in the form of shoplifting, as they will call it, in the form of so-called looting, when people are trying to survive, you didn't side with Americans. You sided with the corporation. You sided with Target. You turned your back on Americans. Americans were upset that the state killed one of them. And you saw black people and your subconscious racism kicked in. It kicked in. Oh my God, looters. It's like a switch goes off, because when you watch so much propaganda and you've been propagandized from birth, and you've been taught that black is bad your whole life and black equals thug, when you see somebody do something in the news, you automatically think thug. That's the first thing your mind thinks is thug. But when it happens in France, you go revolution. But the only difference was skin color. Why is it revolution in France, but it's looting in the black community? Can anybody answer that question for me? Can anybody answer that question for me? Anybody tell me why there's a difference? In Hong Kong, it's a protest. It's a revolution. In the black community, it's looting. Brody McFarland, appreciate you. You said that Hotep love. I need people to tell me. So again, this is the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. Black people say we hate white people, so when white people hate you back, you crying. That's hypocrisy. White people protesting. White people say, "Yay, good protest." People protest, start allegedly looting. Oh my God, thugs, bad people. They're burning their own stuff. Didn't say that about France. You did not say that about France. Where else did they have a revolution? You didn't say it about Czechoslovakia. Where is the condemnation for your European friends? Where is the condemnation? Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. He said racism is woven into the fabric of America when it was created, period. Well, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. Uh, in the inception of America, so-called founding fathers were colonizing this land and stealing it and reappropriating it for the oligarchies of Europe. They brought over their first slaves, which were their European brethren, the lower class of Europe, the dregs, the plebs, the worst of the worst. And they brought them over in boats and they forced them to work. They forced them into work camps. The Caucasian did to the Caucasian. And what they do? They did what any human being would do, and they rebelled. They rebelled and they left. You had many white men would leave, defect, and go live with the natives. And they would say, "Hey, what's up, my white brother? Welcome. Welcome them with open arms." It was so bad that the so-called founding fathers, when they caught these white men, they would punish them, imprison them, put them in work camps, sometimes kill them, chop their feet off. Ugh, very wicked, wicked people. When these people defected, I want you to go look at the history of the Seminoles in the Florida region. When we look at this history, they became bounties, so to speak, where white men were paying white men to snitch on other white men that were siding with the natives. They were paying white men to round up natives. It became incentivized to hate anything black. So when you say it was woven into the fabric of America, yes, it was by the oligarchy, by the rich, from the very, very, very beginning of these times. Yes, it was. Very sad history America has. Very sad history America has, and I think that's the problem. People don't study their history. They stop at the Houghton Mifflin that was handed to them in grade school. That's where they stop. The Houghton Mifflin in grade school. They do no investigation after that. Or if they hear a contradictory thought, they go cover their ears. I don't want to hear it. Conservative won't listen to a liberal. Liberal won't listen to a conservative. Black media ignores me. And when they don't ignore me, what do? They attack me. They attack my character. They create lies about me. This is what black media does, black mainstream media. So you're not in lockstep with the ideology. You're not one of the brainwashed masses. When you cannot be used as a tool, you will be ostracized or ignored. If you're Hotep, both. But still, I think we don't look at it as victim. We look at it as validation. Validation that what we're doing is so powerful that somebody has to attack us. You are scared. You fear the coming of Hotep. Those are the facts. They fear the awakening. They fear that we are powerful enough to awaken the minds of the masses. They know it, and that's why they attack. Because if they listened to Hoteps, they wouldn't be able to grift on Minneapolis. If the left or the right listened to Hoteps, grifting would be over. Now that's not something I made up. It's something I'm experiencing. It's something I'm living. It's part of my life. But this happened back in I want to say 1907, 1913. I forget which year it was. But it happened to Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey said when he came out here, NAACP walked inside the NAACP chapter building. He said he couldn't tell if it was white run or black run. It was so white in that building. NAACP, he said. He said the NAACP walked in the building. He said he couldn't tell if it was white or black run. White liberal been running the black ideology for a really long time. They did their best to make sure that they put other Negroes, put Marcus Garvey in jail, had him extradited back to Jamaica. They said, send that nigga back to where he came from. This is what black people did. The black boule. Why? Because he was about to put them on the unemployment line. You see, when people are self-sufficient, they don't need activists. When people are self-sufficient, they don't need activists. When people are self-sufficient, they don't need preachers. They don't need pastors. And that's not a dig on religion. Y'all know what type of pastors I'm talking about. Y'all know what type of preachers I'm talking about. Al Sharpton. When people are self-sufficient, they don't need activists. When people are self-sufficient, they don't need media. Media, with social media today, it's made media irrelevant. Let's be honest. That's why the media is so far behind. That's why they create so much fake news. Because with social media, connecting everyone and the phones and the videos, the information is traveling faster than the media can keep up with it. The stories break before the media gets it. It used to be the media broke the news. Now, people break the news and the news breaks people. Shout out to Logan Rocksmith. Need you on with Ryan Dawson, bro. Shout out to Ryan Dawson. I like some of the stuff he does. You feel me? The media. You got Maj Toure. Shout out to Maj. He got a shirt that says "Most effective devil in America." So I don't know why people still tune into the media. I think more people need to become media voices. I don't like to, this is one of those topics, this Lil Wayne thing is one of those topics where I said I wanted to speak on it because I had a lot to say on it, as you can see. And I wanted to make sure that people understood. I wanted to put what Wayne said in the context. I wanted to add context since people weren't going to give it context or look at it objectively. I don't like chasing topics. I think that's whack. It's good income. For me, it's whack. But I think it's important that we recognize the power of having a voice, which ties into some of the censorship that's happening with the tech companies, Trump, so on and so forth. But if you don't have a microphone, if you don't have a camera, I suggest you go get one. Right now. I'm not saying this because you should start your own podcast or your YouTube channel. I'm saying this because if you don't, you won't have a voice. You won't have a voice. The alternative is, like I say, put gas in cars that are going where you want to go. You like Hotep Jesus? You like what I'm saying? Fund me. Fund me. You don't want to do it? Fund me. I'll take care of it. I'll fix all this shit. No worries. I'll fix all this shit. Fund me. You ain't got to do nothing. Fund me. I'll take care of it. Shout out to Lynette. $9.99 super chat. Thank you. Fund Hotep. Fund Hotep Nation. Fund those dudes. Fund Uncle Hotep. Fund Michael Green. Fund the people that are going where you want to go. Please don't fund the grifters. Please don't fund the grifters. We talked about grifters earlier on in this stream. If you don't know what they look like, they're in Minneapolis right now. That's all you got to do. You want to find out who's a grifter? Go on your phone and see which one of these people that I'm following is in Minneapolis right now. That's what I want you to do. If they're in Minneapolis, they grifting. It's facts of the matter. They're in Minneapolis, they're grifting. They're going to do a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of streaming. Then they're going to get back on that flight and they're going to be gone the next day. In and out. You know what else you go in and out of? A crack house. In and out. Pew, pew. Quick check. Stop and go. If they cared about Minneapolis, they'd set up shop there. They'd say, hey, followers, fund me. I'm going to stay here and help rebuild the community. I'm going to hold lectures on tech on Monday and lectures on organizing on Tuesday. No, I actually don't do organizing. That's just more activist bullshit. Math, engineering, science, English, investing classes, resources, laptops, cameras. Sometimes we say, oh, but if we give this one place a laptop, then they'll get stolen. I know how to fix that. Buy a laptop for everybody. Set up a laptop drive. Send in 10,000 units of laptops. Give the whole community laptops. It'll fix a lot. Shit, they might be able to sell it and get some money. Might sustain them and pay some bills. But people don't have access to resources. People don't know what to do with those resources. We need mental counseling, somebody to talk to. We need facilities for people to go that are safe on the weekend. Who's going to spend time with the kids till 9 p.m. to make sure that the gym stays open on a Saturday, to make sure that the chess club stays open on a Saturday, make sure that the recording studio stays open on a Saturday? Are you going to sit there in that facility all day to make sure that these kids have someplace to go other than the streets? How big is this facility? How many kids can fit in this facility? What if Barclays wasn't Barclays? What if Barclays was a community center? Think about that big stadium there in Brooklyn that they use to suck the city dry, to make money off of the plebs. Circus and bread. What if something that massive of a building was a community center instead? That was open into the wee hours in the morning so that a child whose mama's on crack has an alternative to the streets. If you're not going to stay in Minneapolis, don't go to Minneapolis. I don't do a lot of work in the community because I have children and they get all of my time. And I feel it's more important for me to make sure I create children that create jobs so they can provide for somebody who doesn't. That's my mission in life, is to create great kids. Spencer O'Hare. George Floyd is what happens after years of devaluing human life by aborting millions of the most vulnerable population. I'm not surprised, but I am saddened. Thank you for challenging my own conservative biases and blind spots. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Yes, we have devalued black life. We devalued black life in the form of Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was exposed the other day for selling aborted fetal cells after they lied about it and said they didn't. But under oath, some of their employees had to divulge the information. HOTEP's been told you. Black liberals protected Planned Parenthood. Why? Because they're funded by Planned Parenthood. Their organizations are funded by Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood gave them a nice little pretty little trophy and an award ceremony. Just like Sean King got a BET award and he ain't even black. But what the community needs is a better mind. A better mind. That's what Minnesota needs. A better mind. That's what Trenton, New Jersey needs, is a better mind. Camden, New Jersey needs a better mind. Newark, New Jersey needs a better mind. See some people talking about Chicago. Oh, black on black violence in Chicago. Dog, listen. Go to Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton is the capital of New Jersey. Go to Trenton, New Jersey if you dare. Drive around the train station at night and see if you feel safe around there. Leave that train station and walk down half a block and tell me what you see. Tell me you don't see deprivation. Tell me you don't see destruction. It's terrible. It's a terrible city. It's the capital of New Jersey. That's where the government body resides. The government body. How is it DC is so bad and that's the head of the government body? That's where the government body of the federal government rests its head, in DC. And it's a mess. How is that possible? If anything, if you put your Capitol building, if I were to set up, let's play make believe, and I set up a Capitol building, Hotep land, right? Hotepistan. And in Hotepistan, we put our Capitol building, boom, lay it down like in Sim City. Built in seconds. It's a beautiful building. We're going to run all of our organization around it. Now, if I was playing this game and I was building this city, Would everything around it look like shit? Or would I want to beautify that area, make sure that area is good because this is the center of our governmental control? It's a trick question. It's a trick question. Because if you're a government, your purpose is to control the people. That's what you're there for. To control, to suck the life out of them, to oppress, to tell them what to do. They are the lower class. You run their lives. They're your subjects. You were the king. So of course it should look disheveled around your government building. If they wanted any beauty, they'd get far away from it. Which is why the further you get away from Trenton, the more beautiful it is. The further you get away from Newark, the more beautiful it is. Huh? Why is it like this? The further you get away from DC, the more beautiful it is. These institutions aren't here to help. They're here to choke you. Stefan, he said, wow, imagine if every stadium was a well-run community center during off hours. Think about that. Think about that. Imagine that. If every stadium, think about what they did in New Orleans. They got hit with Katrina, then miraculously they won the Super Bowl the next year and got in the whole new Superdome or whatever. New Orleans. Shout out to Chad. I know he's down there in Louisiana. It's fucked up. That's where Lil Wayne from. It's fucked up down there. Excuse my French, but it's fucked up. It's poor. It's really bad down there. Niggas be dying, getting shot. But they got a stadium. How come everywhere is poverty, you have a stadium? But think about that. Imagine if every stadium was a 24-hour community center. A 24-hour community center. Everything would be different. It starts to let you know people don't really want to help. These institutions are to create calamity. Savan CA, he said, what is your take on the people looting the black-owned businesses in Minneapolis? Also, thanks for all you do. It opened my eyes a lot. Thank you. What is my take on people looting black-owned businesses? Well, looters loot. Looters aren't going to discriminate. You're going to see a business, an opportunity to steal something, they're going to do it. Now, when you say people looting, are you talking about black people looting black businesses? It could happen. It could happen. White people could be doing it. Antifa could be doing it. I'm not there. I don't know. I can't speak on exactly. Do I think it's right? Of course not. It's not right. I don't think it's right to loot any business. We know it's not right. That's common sense. It is, people say, oh, this is wrong. Oh, duh. Like you had to tweet that. Again, the bar is low. And he's like, you say, oh, the looters are wrong. And you get 1,000 retweets. It's like, wow, you're the next Einstein. You're a fucking genius to come up with that tape. You're a fucking philosophical Aristotle out this bitch. Obviously, it's wrong. But you were so quick. You weren't as quick to condemn the cops' actions, but you were quick to condemn the looters. Some people are really funny about that. Black-owned business. I saw some black-owned businesses being protected by other black men with guns. Beautiful. I love it. I think it's great. But again, it goes back to my previous point. If you're going to go out to Minneapolis to grift, go take your money and repair those black businesses. Go find the small businesses. Don't go out there for the protests. Go to the black businesses. Walk inside, say, hey, were you a victim of looting? Yes, we were. Great. I'm popular online. I'd love to start a GoFundMe to raise money to not only repair your business, but invest in it. Maybe you can open up a second and third location. Provide more jobs. Allow you to hire more people in the community. Do you guys see where I'm going here? This stuff isn't rocket science. White business, whatever business it is, go to these businesses and say, hey, do you need an investment? If we took the top 10 grifters online, we could turn 10 small businesses into Minneapolis into an IPO in a week. In a week, they could IPO with the 10 best grifters. Shit, you give me 10 of the mid-tier grifters and 10 small businesses in Minneapolis can open up 3 more locations. They'd be able to afford the building that Target runs, and that business would have been a local business instead of being a Target. It would have been a supermarket owned by Black people, owned by the community, owned by white people. I include white people because when I go into a lot of businesses, I don't see white owners, not in New Jersey where I'm at. I don't see a lot of white owners. I see a lot of Indians. I see Sikhs. I see Muslims. I see Spanish. I see African. I don't see Black and white. White people out here where I'm at, they run the construction companies. They do some of that blue collar work, landscaping and electrician and plumbing and some of that stuff. But the brick and mortar spots, nah, I don't see a lot of white people, white and Black people doing that. But how come we haven't raised money for these businesses to be able to afford the rent in Target? So your mayor wouldn't have to sell out for a check from Target. Because that's what these mayors do. Target, the large corporation, says, hey, mayor, we'll invest in your town. We'll give you $1 million in your town. You let us put this Target in your area. You know, you know what? I could use that $1 million. Or, you know, our town's in debt and I could use a new Bentley. So he goes ahead and does that. Now your mayor's riding around in a Bentley taxpayers are paying for. All right. And now you got a Target in there sucking up all the potential. You can't even compete with them. They regulate the prices. But if you had 3 supermarkets, I said this last night, if you had 3 supermarkets, what would happen? They would compete. When businesses compete, prices lower. When prices lower, it makes things more affordable, which means the poor have more access to things. These are things that socialists don't understand. But how come the grifters won't do that? I'm challenging the grifters. Next time y'all see one of these blue check grifters in Minneapolis, tell them, how many small businesses have you invested in? How many small businesses in Minneapolis have you visited? Who are you helping while you're out there? Who are you helping while you're out there? And I don't want to hear about nonprofits. Hotep Nation is a nonprofit. I'm not going to deny that, but I don't want to hear about it. I want to see money go into small business. I'm not afraid to say it. Who are you helping? Did you go out there and visit the family of George Floyd? Did you send them some money? Probably already 25 GoFundMe's for his family, right? Move on to the next one. Talk to the kids in the community, find out who need money. Who's starving out there? Do something. Help somebody. Def Jules said they're helping their view account. Yeah. Now, I'd be a liar if I told you I didn't think about going to Minneapolis. I'd be a goddamn liar. I damn sure thought about it. I said, ooh, I should get on the plane and go to Minnesota. This is some good footage right now. I could probably get a lot of views on YouTube. I could probably get about 20,000 followers on Twitter. If I go out to Minneapolis, I can definitely do 20,000 followers really fast, because people want to see streaming. People want to follow people that are covering the footage. I could probably make a lot of money off of it too. It's not who I am. It's not what I believe in. Like I said, we got a class every Saturday. Brian Sharp, our CEO, /summit, called the Mogul Summit. Every Saturday, I get with founders and I help people build businesses. I help small businesses every Saturday. That's what I do. I help small businesses every single Saturday without fail. For 2 hours on a conference call. About 20 guys right now, usually, give or take. Wonderful group. Some of them very well accomplished people, people you'd love to connect with. Why would I stop that to grift? When it's supposed to tell those guys, hey, yo, I'm in Minneapolis right now trying to get some grifting footage. I know they'd understand. You know, some of those guys would probably be like, yo, this is great. I'm going to watch it. Like, by all means, don't worry about it. Still, I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. It's not who I am. It's not who I am. So I'm challenge you to challenge people, make people better. Say, Hotep, when did the black family model break apart? When did it turn to shit? LBJ, I want to say. Yeah, I'd probably say LBJ and the installation of civil rights, the installation of the welfare state, probably did it in right around that time. Thank you everybody for watching my stream. I appreciate you. Thank you for everybody contributing super chats. I love you. If you're first time watching, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right now. Hit the subscribe button right now. I believe I have a guest coming on later, Shaquem Marquette, and I'll be talking to him about organizing Minneapolis, all this good stuff. So tune in later. Love y'all. Peace out, man. Oh, somebody just Matt R. My white friends keep posting to learn about my white privilege, and I'm racist if I don't speak up on this. Thoughts? He said, what? My white friends keep posting to learn about my white privilege, and I'm racist if I don't speak up on this. Thoughts? So you got white liberal friends that want you to speak up about your white privilege, otherwise you're racist. I don't think anybody should be forced to speak on anything at all. Speaking, like we covered in the beginning of this broadcast, talk, don't cook rice. This is what you tell your white friends. Actually, no, this is what you're going to ask them. You're going to say, hey, let me ask you something. How much of your white privilege did you donate to black business? How many black businesses have you invested in? That's the only thing you got to ask them. Put your dollars, put your actions where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. Tell them if they want to shed themselves of white guilt, tell them fund Hotep Nation. Tell them send money to Hotep Jesus. Tell them send money to Uncle Hotep. Tell them send money to those dudes. Tell them that. Tell them send us money. Tell them send their white privilege dollars to us, and we'll manage it for them. Thank you. No problem. But to have your friend, think about this. Matt R., you're here spending time listening to a black male Hotep, right? If they was here, they probably wouldn't be able to stand 5 minutes of my speech. So who's really tolerant of black minds? Food for thought.